Hello, welcome to Lydia and Yvette Talk. Today we're going to talk about privacy. What is privacy? Perception and control. Social media, the good and the bad, and controlling your narrative. So it's quite a big subject. So I'll just give you a bit of background because me and Lydia have spoken about this already. So I was talking to a friend this morning. This is where it stemmed from. I was talking to a friend this morning and we were talking about messages, and she was saying that she gets really anxious if someone sent her a message like a WhatsApp and she hasn't replied straight away. And it's because the other people can see that she's online, and so then they're poking like, hello, I can see you there, and you're not replying. And which is really bad actually, because it's bad on the other person the other people to actually keep prodding and saying, well, why aren't you replying to my message? Well, I'll reply when I'm good and ready, basically.
Yeah.
But it also got me thinking, actually, on a deeper level, it comes down to the fact that we now live in a society where there is a real lack of privacy. Some of it we choose, some of it we don't choose. And we were talking about, it's like, what is privacy now? Because with messaging, and now I was telling Lydia this, I've been watching lots of costume dramas lately. At the minute, I'm watching Pole Dark. But, when you go back to a couple of 100 years ago, the only way, and actually not even that long ago, probably, 30 years ago, people actually corresponded by letter. That was the only way they could correspond. And things were a lot clearer and a lot slower. Now we have this appetite for instant gratification. Everything's instant. We can buy what we want and have it at our doorsteps in within hours. We can send someone an email, we can make a song, put it out there. Everything can be done so instantly.
Fast-paced, isn't it?
And we expect that when we put something out, we get something back. And I think it's really changed the way we think. And you were saying about that, the way your mind thinks is the fact that
we're impatient, aren't we?
Impatient,
the human mind's massively impatient, and it wants things now. It's funny because we try and teach our children, don't we, to be patient, but then we're all impatient. So why being hypocritical? Because everyone wants it now. Well, life's just, it needs to slow down a bit, doesn't it? Really,
it does. And I think that's with messages is. You can get a message, and I don't reply to messages instantly, mostly because I think then if I reply, they're going to reply back and then I have to get in a conversation with them, and I don't want to, but it's that pressure, isn't it? It's like, well, you've received a message, so should you have to reply instantly? Well, no, because actually that's an invasion of my privacy. I will reply if and when I'm ready to, and how I want to, and being pressured to reply is not the right thing. And there are certain things that you can do, and you like with WhatsApp, and I know with Facebook you can change your settings so people can't see when you're online and stuff. But it is a real massive invasion of privacy. I don't ring people generally. I'll send a message, not with any what's the word, that expectation that they're going to come back to me straight away. And in fact, I hope they don't come back to me straight away in most cases. I'll only ring people if it really does need a phone call, because I find that as an invasion of privacy, because we've all got our phones on us constantly. And actually, it's not always appropriate for me to answer my phone. It's not always appropriate, or I'm in the right place, or I've got the kids with me. But I think it's just, we have such a lack of privacy. And again, some is by choosing, because, and we'll talk about social media in a bit, because we can choose to share what we want to share on social media. So you're kind of giving a part of you away, and everything you post on social media is there for anyone to see at any time. So depending on what your settings are, it's there. So you put in you're kind of giving other people the right to you and to your information and to your opinions and to your whatever it is you want to put out there. But we also have a right to privacy. And I think that basic thing of being pestered for a reply or pestering someone for a reply is actually wrong. And it's almost like projection. And we were talking about this in that expectation.
But then it's also for you to set boundary if that person is pestering you. That's what I always think. So if they are pestering you, go, look, I haven't got time to do this right now, but I'll message you back later with my response.
Or don't engage.
Or just don't engage.
Don't engage, because as soon as you do engage, then that's it, no matter whether it's a boundary or not, they're going to come back and say, well, you've engaged now. Well, if you can send that, you can reply to my message. It's almost bullying, isn't it?
Yeah, because I know obviously when I speak to people, because I speak to loads of friends on voice notes, I use them quite a bit now just because I find it easier.
And quicker.
And I know, it's quicker to talk it out. And I know But then that person, if they respect me, they know that obviously I've got other stuff to do.
Yeah.
Don't they? So I'll send a message, and if I don't reply later, they're chill about it because they know me as a person.
Yeah.
And they know you've got a life, and that's respect, though, isn't it?
I'm really sorry. We've got a dog in the background. This dog has been asleep for like 18 hours, and literally, as we've pressed record, she's decided to get up, have a drink, and chew her toy and wander around. She's not moved for hours, Lexi. Always the dogs. It was her daughter getting caught in the blinds last week, and now Lexi's running around. Sorry, carry on, Lydia.
Yeah, I forgot what I've lost my train of thought now. I've got to think about his dog.
Funny dog.
Yeah, what did I get to? But yeah, I was saying about voice notes.
Yes.
But if that person respects you, it's okay. Because I've got friends who I've rang. I've got a really close friend. I ring a lot.
Yeah.
And she doesn't answer. But I'm like cool with that. I'm like, she's got other stuff to do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's not like, you know, we've all got a life to live, and we've all got different things going on in your life. And you know what? When someone doesn't answer, for all you know, something serious could have happened.
Yeah.
And it's like, hold on a minute. It's understanding, though, isn't it? It's understanding that respect, but they're my values.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's a value to me again.
Yeah, yeah.
So it always goes back to that. Whereas that person might have this expectation and don't value their priority and them, this superiority complex, and that's...
It's a control thing as well, isn't it? Because I send messages to friends. Obviously, I message you and we send voice notes and stuff, but I never send anything with the expectation that they must reply to me now, unless it's more just like, oh, I'm over here, unless we're somewhere and we're actually meeting. It's like, oh, I'm here. But I don't send that expectation. But I think we were talking about earlier, when you've got someone that's controlling in your life, and I was saying about, you know, there's been times when I've felt anxious about, oh my God, I've missed a call from this person, because I know, because missing that call, that they'll start projecting on me, and their anxieties become my anxieties. And I'm thinking, well, hang on, I'm exactly where I said I'd be. I'm with who I said I'm going to be with, and all of that. And actually, I've learnt now to like, no, I'm not, and I'm not going to let that be. But it's a really interesting one, this messaging thing, the fact that there are people that feel that they have to reply straight away, and you don't. And it's this privacy, and it does come on to privacy, because it all leads on to social media. Social media is been around now for 20 years or something. It must be coming close to 20 years. So it's not something we've grown up with, because we're super old, obviously. But our kids are growing up with it, and hopefully they'll be not interested in it. I hope by the time that generation kind of get into it, that it's kind of petered off and they don't care about it, because it's kind of, they look at it as like, oh, mum and dad did that, as well, boring. So let's hope for that. But for now, especially, it's here. Now, there are some really good things about social media. Now, when social media first came out, lots of people, including me, and I'm sure you as well, you put lots of stuff on social media. You shared lots of stuff, and it was always the good bits, generally, because we all want to paint this perfect life that none of us have. By the way, none of us have it. And you post the good bits, and there were people that would post the drama, and we've all know those people that you just look at their page, just to look at it. But there has to, social media, there is a good and a bad thing for this. Now, it's all about perception, and it's all about controlling your narrative. I think that the way now that we can get information out to a lot of people and quickly enables you to get your truth across. And I really, really make a big thing about your truth, because they always say there's two sides to every story, and then there's the truth. So you can use it in a positive way to get your truth across, as long as it doesn't bring other people down. But as soon as you put something out there, you are relinquishing your right to your privacy. Does that make sense? Because you're now saying, well, I'm going to put this piece of information, I'm going to tell the world this, whatever that is, I don't know, just think of something off the top of my head. Oh, my kid jumped off the apple tree yesterday. Whatever, I don't know. But you then put that out into the world. So it's out there. So you can't, firstly, complain if anyone talks about it. You can't complain if anyone talks about that incident about you and it, because you are the one that's put that out there. And even though you're speaking your truth, and in your mind, you are putting your version of events across, whichever way it may, whether it be in a positive way or a negative way, it will be perceived by every single person differently. So you have to be aware of that. So even if you put something on that you think is the most positive thing in the world, you are then relinquishing your right to your privacy, and there will be someone out there that sees it as a negative, or sees it as a manipulation, or sees it as a attack on somebody else, or sees it as an attack on them, because people are very self-centered.
Yeah.
So even when something's got nothing, so even when it's got nothing to do with that person, people see that. And I think that's what we have to be very careful of. And again, it's the perception that people have. It's about your truth, and it's about privacy.
Yeah.
And I think for me, I'm a very private person. I know I talk on here, but I don't talk about anything private. I don't put anything private on social media. All my personal social media is all locked down anyway. So only people that I want to see it, and that's my choice.
Yeah.
I don't put anything out there, and I have very trusted friends that do it, and that's just because I'm a private person. But I think it's you have to be careful that when you do put everything out to the world, you are relinquishing your right to privacy.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that can see whatever it is you're putting out there,
but then
which is scary.
If you want to put stuff on social media, that's from the other part. If you want to put the social media, that should be your choice if you want to do that. But if someone's going to be very rude towards you or read it the wrong way, you've got to be ready to stand up for yourself on that respect as well.
Yeah.
Because that's just.
But just remember, people are generally keyboard warriors because they're dead hard. And we've also had like that dead hard. Those keyboard warriors, and we've even had a keyboard warrior on our channel. We kicked off nicely. Yes, you are, but people generally talk behind your back. But I remember specifically that someone, and this was a long time ago when it was a bit more, everyone was on Facebook and honestly, I never did. I'm just one of those ones that just watches. And I remember someone put in this whole, over the space of like a few weeks, this whole drama with arguing with this person and that person and falling out with their friends and their boyfriends and what have you, and it all played out all over Facebook constantly. It was ever so amusing and entertaining. But then the week later, there was another person like, I can't believe such and such is talking about me. I'm like, hang on a minute, you've spent the last 4 weeks putting all of this on Facebook and literally out to everybody, because I don't think I was even friends with this person. I could still see it, but because people then were screenshotting it and sharing it, I was like, and your whole profile is open. You cannot put stuff out in the world and then moan that people are talking about it. And that comes to everything, because we put stuff out, we put our channel stuff out, and people will talk about it in a negative and a positive way, but we accept that because we know that that's going to happen, because actually we're human and not everybody's going to agree with firstly what we're doing, what we talk about, and actually we're not here to tell you what's right and wrong. We're here to start a conversation and to think about things in a different way and to put a different perspective on.
Yeah, exactly.
Gosh, that sounded really like
deep.
Yeah. So again, this all came from my friend earlier saying that she felt this, she got anxious if she didn't, it came down. I was thinking, actually that's more than feeling anxious. That's feeling, thinking even a bit further now, it's almost that she felt an intrusion of her privacy, that she had to, because this person or these people or her friends or whoever it was could see that she was online and then they were saying, well, I can see you online. That's actually an invasion of privacy. But they don't respect you, though. No, there's no respect there. But it does come deeper. It's actually we're in a society now where our lives are led on our phones. We do everything on our phones.
Yeah.
So people know you're on your phone, and we are on so many different platforms and apps that actually, if people wanted to find out what you were doing at any particular time, they could find out very easily, which is quite scary.
It is scary.
So it's about privacy. So what is privacy? Our privacy is very different now to what it was 20 years ago.
Massively, but that's because the society we live in today has moved on. It's growing constantly, isn't it? It's changed. But then, therefore, if you don't want to put, like you yourself, don't put stuff on social media, you're in control of that.
Yeah, and that's it, isn't it? It's controlling that narrative, putting your truth on.
You can only control what you do, how you respond to stuff. Yeah. And obviously, whereas it's the same, I'd probably put a little bit more on my social media because I like family and friends to see it. But it's all different, aren't we? Yeah,
but I think it's just, we have to just be aware that what we thought was private is not. As soon as you put something out there, even your WhatsApp, which most of us use WhatsApp all the time, you can change settings to say you're private, but it's like
I can put you
actually,
in the gym on stuff or busy.
Yeah, but then why would you? See, that's the other thing. It's like we feel the need to tell everybody everything, and actually
you have to justify yourself.
You have to, you have to justify yourself. Yeah, because I'm not putting where I am, so I have to justify what I have been doing.
I just justify occasionally. But then again, once I know I've got that relationship with someone, they understand me as a person. They know that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, because I'll be like, I'm just doing this. Because it's like Noah, I'm very like that with him. Because he's quite an anxious he can be quite an anxious little character. And I'm like, Mummy's just going to do this. And then he knows.
Yeah.
So, like, I have to justify myself just for him, for reassurance.
Yeah. Yeah.
For some people. Because some people's minds think differently, don't they?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Everyone's minds think differently, and this is the other point. Is it like something quite an innocent post that you put on? Someone will take offence to
They'll
it.
interpret it
because they'll interpret it. Their perception is different. Their opinion is different, and it's just kind of we have to be so much more aware of the things that we do, in case and I have. Put a bit of context into this. I don't mean don't put things on and just in case you offend someone. Well, if someone's offending, well, that's their problem. But I mean, don't do something obviously to offend. Don't just go, well, I don't like that person because they're a bit fat, big fat slag or something.
Well,
that's probably a bit too much. That's a bit too much. That's a bit a bit harsh. But people do it.
Well, they do.
And I think we just need to be aware that our privacy, self-awareness, and I think, I know I keep saying this, but about the privacy, our privacy has very much changed, and what we took for granted before is not, and actually your phones give a lot away without you even trying.
Yeah.
And so, so just I think it's just about having some awareness, isn't it? And using the tricks of the phones to kind of, if you want to be a bit more incognito, be a bit more incognito.
Yeah.
So that was a big one. I think we could talk about more on this one.
Yeah. Go on that one.
But Lex is shut up now. She's gone back to sleep for another 18 hours. Yeah. Right. Is that it?
That's it.
Right. Bye.